in this video, we're going to be learning how to create a Chrome extension. So our Chrome extension is YouTube timeline server, and by learning this, we will learn how to create any type of Chrome extension. So what does this Chrome extension do? Well, it saves your YouTube timeline as it is titled here. So we have to open up a YouTube video, and suppose we don't want to lose our timeline, so let me just write it here for 12:15, yeah, and save this. So whenever you close this and come back later and you click this extension will open up the video at the exact time
and lows, and that
and
gives me
speed up
a
to
trend.
50.
Now this is my GitHub page.
See, it's speed up to 50, and you can try it one more. Let's say 7:38 and save it, and it will speed up the video to
And lows, and
that
that gives
exact
me a
time.
trend. Now this is
Let
how
me
you can do
wait.
a trend.
Yeah, 7:38. So we are gonna be learning this. So for this, let me just undo my changes so I can demonstrate it with you for later. Yeah. We are going to be creating an empty folder in and move it to VS Code. So now we are good to go. So the first thing for a Chrome extension is manifest.json, but I am gonna provide you with a folder of images so we can work with, and you don't have to download them. You will find them in the GitHub gist linked in my video description. Yeah, let's paste this. We are good to go. And we'll just close this, no need to this. So first thing we are going to be creating manifest.json. This is the backbone or introduction of our Chrome extension, and I'm also going to be providing you with this. And don't think you're not going to learn anything yourself. I'm going to demonstrate this, but this is just a basic stuff and useless, so we are going to just copy it, and you can just copy it also. So we have here manifest version 3, and why are we using version 3? Because I have tried it using 1 2, but it hasn't worked out for me, so we will use the manifest version 3, and the name is YouTube timeline server. You can call it whatever you want, and the version is of course 1.0, and the permissions is active tab and storage. Now this is interesting because we are going to be having control over the active tab of the browser and the local cache or storage of the browser, so we can store the timelines. And the default is pop.html. We will create it now, and the images of course I have provided with you is icon.png, and the service working background.js. These are users file. We are gonna not will create it, yeah, icon.png, and this matches www.youtube.com/watch tells us that this extension will accept timelines only only when the user is on the youtube.com and not any other websites. And the content.js will create, yeah, so let's create the necessary files. And for popup.html first file, then styles.css, popup.js, background.js, and this background.js is gonna be empty. We are not gonna need it for the simple Chrome extension, and content.js is also gonna be empty. Okay, so the we have created the necessary files, and let's begin to work on our Chrome extension. Firstly, we just basic HTML stuff. We are gonna be titling this. We don't need to actually title this, but we will do it. Because why not? And we will call the necessary links. Link CSS styles .css. And for this tutorial, we are gonna be using Tailwind. So I'm gonna just copy it. You can write it using my screen. Yeah, we are gonna be using Tailwind, so we just copied it. This will also be available in the GitHub gist. Okay, so the body we are gonna be giving a br, so give a space and h2 and h2 saying YouTube timeline, and this will have a class of um, font dash bold text dash 3xl text dash center and then text dash white. Oh, I misspelled it. Yeah, and paragraph of just our tagline: never lose your timeline again. Yeah, and this also have a class that is font as semi-bold, semi-bold. Yeah, and then text dash lg text dash center and then text dash white. Yeah, text dash white. Yeah, and we will just give it another beer, because why not? And oh, we forgot to add the script. Yes, for source and popup.js. Yeah, we are good to go. Now we will see how our extension looks. So for this, you need to go to Chrome or whatever browser you have and go to extension. Extensions, yeah, and we need to enable developer mode and load unpacked, and we will oh no, no, we will select our desired folder. Yeah, select the desired folder and open it up. Look, we have got it. YouTube timeline server 1.0 and we have got the logo. So we are gonna just spinning this. Yeah, there you go. Now look at our extension. You have just build up a nice little extension, but we haven't styled it, so it is just completely blank. See, you have text dash white, so it is blank. It's not stable, but we will fix this. Then we will just go to styles and give our body some styling, like width 300 pixel, height 250 pixel, and the background color that is very important is we're gonna be copying this. You do the same. Well, for your knowledge, I'm not copying it from any other sources but my own code that I wrote earlier. So now we look And the extension, see how does it look? There we go. Yeah, look at that. A very nice extension with the solid background color. We are just gonna be implementing the logic and the input. See, that is a Chrome extension you have just built. So next thing we are gonna be doing is yeah. Now we will add a section and then a p tag of timeline. Oh, yeah, a p tag of timeline, and then class is font dash semibold and text dash lg x dash lg is text dash center. Oh, text dash center, text dash white. Yeah, text dash what? No. Text dash text lg text dash center mb dash one. Yeah, mb dash one. And we'll have a div uh, with yeah, and it will have a class of text dash center. So the all items and text are in the center. Yeah, and input. Yeah, and it will be a class of. We'll have a custom class here so that we can add custom stylings to our input. We will do it now. Text dash lg and then type text, obviously timeline and ID. We have an ID for this logic, and we are gonna be just like timeline input, and the placeholder is like enter your timeline, and we will give an example so that the user can see 00. Yeah, that is basically it, and we will give the MCQ option input custom styling. So dot MCQ input option input. Yeah, border is white solid 2 pixel. Border radius is gonna be border radius is gonna be 10 pixel. Background is transparent. Width is gonna be 85. Yeah, 85 pixel. That's okay. Color is white. We'll see how it looks. It looks great. 20 px, and yeah, that's all. So we will see how it looks. We'll just go to it. It auto saves. Yeah, there we go. It's amazing. Okay, we'll just grab this because it is causing an issue, I think. Oh yeah, EG130. Yeah, it's just perfect. Then we we have also some buttons. So let's do the HTML fully first. And we're gonna have some BS break so that we can place the button, and we'll get ourselves a div. Yeah, div again, text dot center, class text dash center. a id. Oh, no, we are wasting your time. Huh? Yeah, a id is we'll have id so that we can use it to call this button in our JS. So we will just implement the id here. Okay, id is safe timeline, and then we'll have a class of emma-2 inline dash flex, and then items dash center, and then justify dash center, px dash 3 py dash 2, and then text dash base font dash medium, and then text dash center, and then text dash indigo dash 100, maybe border dash indigo 500. And then with this one has a lot of classes. That is a button, router dash lg, shadow dash s, yeah, cursor dash pointer, hover, and hover dash text white dash text white, and then bg dash gradient to be a, yeah, gradient to be a from dash purple dash 500 via dash indigo dash 500, and lastly 2 dash indigo dash 500. Yeah, that is amazing. And then we will have an image within the a, yeah, not save, yeah, we will have an image and self-closing tags. Source is of course image that I have provided with you, save.png. Oh, yeah, and then width is gonna be 23%. I have experimented with it and I've seen 23 works the best. And then we are gonna be having a span so that our text is seen, save, yeah, and then class is gonna be relative ml dash 1 so that our image and span is not very close. And then we are gonna be having another button that is, and we will just change the id to clear data and the image to what can it clear dot svil. There we go. And this one will have 30%. That works the best. And then it is gonna be clear. Yeah, that is just amazing. There we go. Exact same buttons and with a gradient, with an icon, just beautiful stuff. Then we have to display our timelines. For that, you will have a UL. UL an ID so that we can call it in the JS timeline list. Oh, timeline list. Yeah, and that is all of index.html. That is all of HTML done. We will move to CSS, and CSS is boring stuff, so I'll provide you the CSS. CS, you don't need to learn CS, you just copy it, yeah. And we will learn the logic, the fun stuff, popup.js, the logic implementing this. So we will just start using this is a DOM content load. So it works only while our full content is loaded, and then DOM content loaded function, and we will call it this. Yeah, that is amazing. We will just call our ID to service input is document dot get element by ID, timeline input, oh, timeline input, and then we just gonna copy it 3 more times. Yeah, and this one we save timeline button, and the ID was save timeline, and this one is gonna be timeline list, yeah, or clear button, yeah, clear data button. Yeah, that is clear data, and this one is gonna be the URL we just created to display the timeline list, yeah. Timeline list, yeah. So we have called all of our inputs and the IDs. So let's begin here. Let me just see. Yeah, so we will start the logic by writing when our user clicks the save button. So for this, we need to add an event listener. Um, save button click, and then save timeline btn button, of course. Then click, yeah. I will call a function handle this, and that function will be, we will now get the value of the timeline, yeah. For that, where do we get it from? The timeline input, of course. So but we need to trim it because unnecessary stuff gets into this, so we need to trim it. And if timeline is true, that means user have inputted a timeline, we can do the logic. Then timestamp is timeline. I have done this for absolutely no reason. You cannot do it. You wish, of course. And if timestamp, we are gonna be checking if the input is valid because it can be hackable. Okay, so Chrome the tabs dot query, then yeah, and then we will set activist row, activist row, current window is true. So we have control over the current window and the active tab in the browser. Yeah. Then we will call a function that will accept the tabs, and that function will check if the URL starts with this and URL does this and this, that stuff. And we'll get the active tab from tab 0. Yeah, we'll get the active tab from tab 0. Oh, tab 0, that's why it's showing the error. I think, let's see what the error is. We haven't done it, so we will just delete this function, then tabs, then outside its function, yeah, active tab is tabs and then 0. Look at that. However, how amazing it is. We are gonna have control over the active tab of the browser, and if active tab is starts with this, we'll check the active tab. Sorry, active tab is difficult to say. Yeah, active tab dot URL. We'll check the URL starts with. We'll use a built-in function of Chrome browsers, HTTPS and youtube.com/watch. Yeah, that is just youtube.com/watch. Let me just open up YouTube and tell you what it is. See, whenever you watch a video, it is from the URL https www.youtube.com/watch, not youtube.com. So we're gonna be seeing if a user is watching a video by checking the slash watch. Okay, yeah, slash watch, and then we will get the URL of the video URL is active tab.url is simple. Yeah, we'll get the active tab URL and replace. Okay, so let me just see. Yeah, and we will let, let me just tell you what what how are we doing this. So we are just implementing this as t equal to the minute and second. We are converting the hours and minutes to minutes and seconds. So we will check if any of the URL starts with this, that is previously done by our extension. We will just remove this. This is a pretty crazy looking text, so we'll just copy it. You do the same. Yeah, we will just check if it is previously done by a URL, that is hash t or anti or hash t equal to URL this and we'll convert it to nothing. we'll just delete this from the URL, and we will convert our timestamp in seconds. Convert timestamp in seconds. Okay, first timestamp. We'll create it now. We'll accept our timestamp. Yeah. Don't worry, we will create it now. Const timeline data. So we are saving this in the local storage and the storage of the browser. So what we will save? The timeline data, the name of the timeline, and the URL, of course. So we can open it by clicking it, video URL, and the timestamp. Timestamp is timestamp in seconds. Not exactly seconds, it is in seconds and minutes. But we're gonna be just calling this because why not? Yeah, we are good to go. Timestamp in seconds. Yeah, we are good to go. Then we will save it in the local storage, and that is important. So let's do this with me. Chrome dot storage. We're accessing Chrome storage. Get timelines. We are checking if it has timelines. Function data. Yeah. And const timelines. We are accessing the timelines of previously saved timelines. Data dot timelines, and by this we are checking if the Chrome storage has timelines, then provide it in the timelines variable, and if it does not have any timelines, then provide it in with a empty list. Okay, that is what we are doing. And timelines dot push to the tab to save the timeline in the local storage. Okay, what have we done? Yeah, misspelling, that is a big issue. So by this we are just pushing the timeline or saving the timeline in the local storage. And now we will chrome dot storage dot sync dot set. We are setting this. Oh, sorry. By this, we are just pushing the timeline into the list of the timelines we are gonna be saving in the Chrome storage. So yeah, there we go. Timelines is timelines. We are saving the list, and yeah, and we'll create a list. Create and append a new timeline. Okay, no, we gonna do it later. And then we are gonna do we will just um, make its value 0 again or nothing again, an empty string, so that the user can write another timeline. We will just reset it, of course, and then do this, and then else if the user hasn't opened up a YouTube video, then we will just alert it Yeah, you will just alert it with please open a YouTube video, have to save a timeline. Yeah, and then we will check if the user has entered a timeline. Yeah, and if it hasn't, then please enter a timestamp. Yeah, and then we are gonna check if the user has entered the timeline name. Of course, alert enter timeline name. Yeah, there's all, and we have saved the save timeline button where it clicks, but we need to make the function first timestamp so the hours and minutes get converted into minutes and seconds. Okay, so we will do it now. This is simple. We will just go to the bottom and first timestamp that was entered, and we will accept the timestamp that we provided as an argument const time pass, and we will just split it into parts. It timestamp dot split. You will split the timestamp with a colon. Wherever there is a colon as timestamp, we'll just split it. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to add the function that has shown the error. Yeah, after splitting it, we can play with it even more. If time paths dot length equals to 2, then ours is 0, of course, because we can just show you here. Because if the timestamp is this, then its part is gonna be 2, 1, and then colon here, so you should another part 50. That means we only have minutes and seconds. We don't have an hour. So we are checking this by using a clever method. We are calling time pass length equal to 2. So we are checking if we have any hour. No, we do not have that because we have only having two parts. We are checking only this, okay? And then const oh, const hours is equal to 0. Of course, we do not have any hours in here. And const minutes, oh, const minutes is first int, that is a JavaScript built-in function, time parse, time parse 0, and const seconds equals to first int. We are just converting it into an int. We are converting a string into an int. Yeah, that that is minute, and that is second. We are converting the first part, that is type per 0, into minutes, and the second part timestamp 1 into seconds. Okay, we are just returning, just return hours into 3600 if we have any hours, but we don't have currently because the hours is 0, and minutes into 60 plus 60 into seconds. Oh, plus 30 plus seconds. Yeah, that is amazing. And if it has hours, then it will have 3 pairs. We'll just get it here. Time pairs dot length equals to 3. Then we will have hours. So we are gonna be careful with this. Pairs in. We'll make it integer. For your spelling mistake as always. Time pairs. Time pairs. It will be 0 as it is the first. But and then cost minutes. Oh, we will just copy it. It is exactly the same. Not exactly because we have 3 parts here. We'll just call it 1, the second part, and 2, the third part. And that is our function done. And we will return, if nothing is passed, then we will return 0. Yeah, good. That is our parse timestamp done. So let's see how it looks. No, it will not look because we haven't done it. Let's do it now. Yeah, let me check. Now we can add the clear data. This is very simple. Clear data when button clicked, and then clear button, clear data button, of course. Not add event listener. We'll have add event listener. Click, and then as always, function is, yeah. Then we'll just use Chrome storage, call Chrome storage, and delete the saved timestamps. Remove the timestamp we have saved, and timelines function, yeah, timeline list dot inner HTML equal to 0. So we will just clear the list of timelines. Clear timeline list. Yeah, and that is amazing. Then we can create, we can save the create timeline list. Okay, so for this, yeah, we are gonna be, let me just check. Yeah, so we haven't displayed the timestamps in our HTML. To do this, display, display, create a display, create and display new timeline list item here, and we'll just call const list item list item is equal to create we I'm just calling a random function, but when I will create it later. Now timeline will just provide this timeline data as an argument. Yeah, there we go. And then timeline list dot append child list item. Yeah, we will create the function create timeline list. We'll just get back here and then we'll just function create timeline list. We'll just in timeline as an argument and then const list item. List item is document dot create element. Will create an li in the ul to store or display the timeline, and we will just uh, comment it so you can understand. Create a div to hold the image and take side by side. We will do this. I showed you earlier my finished version, and you saw there is an arrow image beside every timeline, so it looks great. So we can identify each timeline individually. So we will implement this. We'll just create a div content container is document dot create element. We'll create a div, so we are create element and then div. Yeah, the div, and then we'll just style it. Content container dot style dot display is equal to flex, because we will we will display two timestamps side by side. um I mean two timestamps in one row. So we will implement this logic. So we are using flex and content container dot style dot gap, and we will use a gap of 8 pixel. I have tried it using num- various pixels, but this works out the best. And 8 pixel, and we will create the image. The image element. Yeah, const image is document dot create element image. Image dot source is I provided with you with it images slash more than png. These are more than size, so I use the length of more than png, which is pretty hilarious. I will use a width of 10. Okay, the width of 10. You can experiment with it, but this was great. Content container dot append child image. Yeah, yeah. Now we have implemented the image. Then we are gonna creating a span for each of the timelines. for the timeline. Yeah, constant document that create. No, we don't need this actually, so I'll just remove it. And we will add a click event listener to open the same video with this timestamp video URL, and we will do this. This is pretty amazing.